Hello there viewers, and welcome to episode 38 of Formula 1 Talk. And in this edition there's the obligatory news to go over with you, and of course my previews for this weekend's Singapore Grand Prix to be held at the Marina Bay circuit this weekend. We'll kick it off with some sad news. I'm sure if you're a Formula 1 fan you already know what I'm going to talk about. Professor Sid Watkins, the safety innovator in Formula 1, who was there for the early days of safety and regulations and all sorts of things, has passed away aged 83. It's a very sad time for Formula 1 because he was such an innovator for safety and all rules and regulations. People call motorsport these days boring because of it, and those people that say that do not know what they are talking about. Basically, this man is responsible. There has not been a major death in motorsports. There's not been a major death in Formula 1 since the death of Ayrton Senna in 1994 at Imola, and it's mainly due to Sid Watkins' contribution to the sport. He was always first on the scene at any big crash, looking after the drivers. I'm sure he saw the horrible accident at Spa just before he passed away, and he would have been on the scene had he still been the main doctor. But the guy was 82 when he retired. Sadly passed away just a couple of about a week ago now. Like I said in my previous video, I wanted that particular video to just be about that. This is where the news comes in, and we kick it off with this sad news. So may he rest in peace and look after all the drivers in the afterlife. McLaren have come out and said that there will be no team orders. This, I'm sure, will frustrate Lewis Hamilton tenfold. Button's chances of winning the championship went up in smoke along with his engine at Monza. You have to say that it would spur Lewis on to the prospective job at Mercedes for next season, 2013. Whether this plays into the hands of the other title contenders, Alonso and the two Red Bulls, is another matter. We really, really don't know. Button, should he win this weekend, Jensen would probably be right back in the title hunt. But the thing is, he's got to have the other four contenders not finish very well. And the thing about Alonso this year is, alright, he may not have the best car, but he's doing the very best he can in the machinery available. The Ferrari is nowhere near the best car, as I've just said, but the championship will go down to the most consistent driver, as it always does. So, no team orders at McLaren. They are building their 2013 Challenger based on the fact that Hamilton and Button will be the two drivers. They will be surprised if Hamilton doesn't drive for them next year. But a lot of this is to do with what Lewis wants, and a lot of this is, quite frankly, to do if Michael Schumacher retires from Formula 1 for good. It's been said in F1 media over and over. I've said it on previous videos as well, that it's all got to take place. The chain reaction will start if Schumacher retires. If he doesn't, Hamilton's got no choice but to stay where he is, basically, because of the penciling in of Sebastian Vettel at Ferrari for 2014. Lewis would be better suited to wait one more year if he is going to go somewhere, because there could very well possibly be 2 race seats open at Red Bull for 2014 if Vettel does go to Ferrari and Webber retires, which we're all thinking is going to happen at the end of next season. So there'll be 2 fresh seats at Red Bull for 2014 if that happens. If not, there will certainly be one fresh seat open, although Red Bull do tend to fill their driver's seats with candidates from Toro Rosso, although I can't actually see Ricciardo or Jean-Eric Vergne transferring to any Red Bull race seat in any future, no matter how good they do. Even if they were to finish runner-up in the championship next season, it's not going to happen, but that's the theoretical side of things. And Kamui Kobayashi has come out and said that Romain Grosjean's ban, one race ban after the crash at Spa, his Monza ban, was rather lenient. Obviously he's frustrated as Kobayashi. He's getting outpaced by his teammate Sergio Perez from Mexico. I have to say that the ban was justified in the length that it was. Grosjean's had as many crashes as Maldonado in the Williams has, and they've always sort of been that early-ish sort of time, so like lap 1 of each race. So we'll just have to take into consideration the ban itself is the first banned driver since '94, and if that's the case, why hasn't Maldonado been banned yet? That's what I want to know. I reckon Maldonado's next crash could produce a ban, so we'll just have to see what develops. Grosjean himself has said that the ban for Monza has enabled him to prepare better for the race at Marina Bay in a couple of days' time. I think he's just saying that to say that, the ban hasn't hurt me that much. I'll get back into form. As I say, we'll just have to see what happens this weekend. Grosjean has been brilliant, but he has been unlucky, and he quite frankly has also been I wouldn't say careless, just a bit unlucky. I mean, he didn't see Lewis Hamilton come up beside him the other day in Spa, which caused the crash in the first place. He thought he was ahead, he wasn't. If you play a Formula 1 game, all you see is two huge tyres at basically shoulder height and a steering wheel in front of you and a little bit of the track. These guys drive like this all the time. We can take into consideration that all we see when we're driving, we see quite a lot. These guys don't. And the wing mirrors on these F1 cars are next to pointless. So I'm not trying to stand up for Grosjean, but what I'm saying is that if you don't see anyone in your peripheral vision, you do take the odd risk here or there. The 2012 Formula 1 game from Codemasters is released this weekend. As you saw in my last particular edition, I gave you a little bit of gameplay from the demo. I have the full game in front of me, ready to play when this is uploaded, or uploading, should I say. And quite obviously I'm looking forward to it. Being a video game fan and an F1 fan, it's my favourite time of the year. They always release the game in and around the weekend of the Singapore Grand Prix. I think Codemasters do the right thing there, because the Singapore Grand Prix isn't the best Grand Prix, as I'll go through right now. The track is a nighttime street circuit. Now, street circuits aren't particularly brilliant races, as we've seen this year with Monaco and Hungary. Hungary isn't necessarily a street track. Valencia, the European Grand Prix, certainly is a street track, and those particular races, all three of them, haven't been 5-star races this season. We barely got any passing at Monaco, we barely got any passing at Valencia, and we maybe got 1 or 2 passes in the whole race at the Hungaroring this year. So it's quite difficult to see where the passing will be made here at Marina Bay. Whoever gets pole position should really win the race. The track layout, because it's a street circuit, favours the Red Bulls, I think. Mark Webber won at Monaco. Sebastian Vettel, if it not for the alternator failure, would have won in Valencia. So I'm going to pick Vettel for pole and the race this weekend because of the fact it favours the Red Bulls. Red Bulls are brilliant with acceleration and street circuits. We're not going to see the advantage that McLaren have had the last 3 races. We're not going to see that. At least I don't think we're going to see that this weekend. So there's my pick for pole and the race. You'll be hearing my thoughts about this weekend's action in the review video early next week. So I thank you for watching as you do each and every time, and I'll see you next time for more F1 talk.